That's right. You have full access to The Odd Couple for the next 3 hours, no matter where or how you get this fine radio program, whether it's on Fox Sports Radio, foxsportsradio.com, the Sirius XM Channel 83, or the iHeartRadio app. Say my name.
Rob Parker.
Say his name.
Kelvin Washington.
And yes, we are The Odd Couple on this Magic City Monday. And you know what? We're broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studios.
Yes.
That's right. TireRack.com will help you get there. An unmatched selection, fast free shipping, free road hazard protection, and over 10,000 recommended installers.
Wow.
Thank you, TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Man, what a show we have for you. So much stuff to talk about.
Man.
Shekel City's coming up in the first hour. Of course, for Hall of Famer Rob Woodson and Fox Sports Radio NFL analyst. He's in hour number 2. And Mike Sando, senior NFL writer for The Athletic. He's in hour number 3. So a lot of stuff. And, of course, last call. So much to do, so little time. But first, let me welcome in my co-host. He is Kelvin Washington.
What up, man? We had
happening?
a how do you want your NFL victory weekend? We had any type of victory you want. You want blowouts, you want close ones, you want block field goals, you want last minute good field goals, you want offside penalties to seal a game. I mean, we had any type of way a team could win or lose. We absolutely saw that over the weekend. So we got some good stuff, some good NFL conversations to be had. And I'm feeling rejuvenated, by the way.
You should.
Took a little
respite
staycation.
Yeah.
Period.
It was your wife's birthday, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow, but we did a nice
out.
we had a nice little staycation here for overnight. Shout out to moms. Got away from the kids for a day and a half or whatever. So I'm feeling refreshed.
Very nice.
Period.
That's right. All right,
Let's welcome in
the Odd Couple crew. We wouldn't be able to do this fine radio program without him. Rob G is our producer.
Goated.
Steve DeSager is at the anchor desk. He'll keep us
Steve.
updated throughout the show.
That was me, Steve. I just
That's
like
right.
to hey, Steve. And Alex
Elijah,
got prettier.
Elijah is of course. Elijah is our social media guru.
You too, Elijah, in case you're feeling missed out over there.
He is. He's like, wow,
Yeah.
what's wrong with me?
Yeah, you looking good over there too, brother. I just want to make sure.
Elijah, let him know you're married, you
Yeah,
got a
all right,
baby,
just saying,
you know what I mean, all that. Okay.
Hey, getting married make you look better. That's
you
what
go.
the streets say.
Period.
And of course, on the ones and twos.
Mary, why you bugging? Huh.
All right, let's get started.
You looking prettier too, man.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
can tell. I can always tell on a Monday who was on TV yesterday.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I can always tell.
I still got my makeup
You
on.
got your makeup, you got your clean haircut, beard all
I
trimmed
think
up.
the best part, have you seen him smile? He looks like a kid getting ready for school. Like
Yeah,
first
he's
day of school.
excited,
he
looking
smiles.
good, too.
What, when I'm on TV?
Yeah, you smile like
Yeah, I ain't gonna
cheese real hard.
A little extra. A little
He
extra.
shows the
Hey,
outfit,
TV
he's
does
so
that to
happy.
you. I ain't gonna lie. It'll
You
do
know
that
what?
to you.
Television, you're just supposed to have energy,
Yeah.
like be inviting. Am I right? Like if you're there with you don't smile, people are like, "What's
Well,
this?"
just say that louder, because some people don't get
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I'm always blown away. Like hello.
Yes.
Yeah, but you look like really excited, like it's your first day at school.
Really? I'm not like, wow.
I
You look
think
like
it's-
a little kid.
No, he flexed a little new outfit, and you know what I mean. I think you know what it is. You know when you're gonna get an extra little DM, and he knows he's gonna get a little
Hey,
extra
Rob
DM.
Parker.
Oh, so not that. I just wanted to say you look so handsome.
NBC, you're so
I
stunning.
NBC
Oh, my
you.
God.
I NBC you, boo.
NBC.
Okay, all right.
Blacker the berry, sweeter the juice.
Yeah, hey,
My
I thought it was
God.
older the berry. She
That's
blacker
right.
than the remember that Friday? The older the berry, the sweeter the juice. I thought it was a
Just
blacker.
like wine.
She blacker than the mother lover too.
All right, can we talk
Yes,
football?
we can.
All right. And I want to say this. I'm not first guessing this.
Okay.
I've been saying this forever.
All right, where are we going with this?
Sean Payton,
Mm.
who's the coach of the Denver Broncos,
Mm-hmm.
he was wrong.
Okay. All right.
And he allowed his dislike for Russell Wilson personally to get in the way of the football and the facts. It was about feelings. And you know what was the worst part?
What's that?
Is that so many people bought into it because Sean Payton was ready and decided to bite the bullet and say, just get this guy out of here. I don't care how much money it costs. They took an unprecedented hit on the salary cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they just want to get Russell Wilson out of my face. Everybody, last year he really didn't play that well. You really look at despite his numbers, because they weren't bad, but they still made the case like he was no good. And I'm not saying he's a Super Bowl quarterback from years ago with Seattle. But you must admit, you saw the win yesterday in Washington. Big time. 3 touchdowns. He had a pick. He played well. And he's played well for Pittsburgh. What's the one thing they've been missing for the last 5, 6, 7 years? They don't have a quarterback, right? Somebody who could throw the football.
Downfield. That's the key component right there. Is that he was solid all day, and he made the right 3 to 4 passes. I mean, he threw one was insane.
But that's what you need.
And that's the difference.
That is the difference. That's what I was saying earlier this year. I wasn't Justin Fields, he can't play, didn't belong in the league. But if you have these two, and you're the Steelers, you haven't won a playoff game in 8 years, this is what you're looking for, okay? Now, all of a sudden, all the NFL analysts and the talking heads, the Steelers are a Super Bowl contender now. Mm-hmm. And they were the same ones who were dissing, Russell Wilson, I don't know what they got him for. Nobody wanted him. You remember that talk? Nobody wanted him. He's washed. He's so phony. He's this, he's that. He's running for mayor. The dude can still play football. Can people come around? How much better does he have to play? I'm not crowning him. I'm just saying you were wrong and you brought in the Sean Payton's hate, dislike, whatever you want to call it, feelings. Because he wasn't his guy. He didn't like that guy from day one when he got there in Denver and couldn't wait to figure out a way to get rid of him.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton had a control issue in that if you don't do exactly what I want you to do, then we have issues. And I think the reason why he wanted a young quarterback in order somebody that he can, in Bo Nix and somebody that he can kind of shape and mold is so that it's almost like a Manchurian candidate, right? I can get you to do exactly what I want you to do, be exactly what I want you to be. Whereas with Russell Wilson, I'm going to have to work with you. You have years of experience, right? So he can be like, well, I used to do this and this kind of works. And I don't want to deal with that if I'm Sean Payton. I want you to be, yes, sir. This is what we're going to do. Now, on the flip side, I like everything you just said. The only thing I would add to that is sometimes life is going to life. And if you're Russell Wilson, maybe people did believe he ain't got it like he used to. He's washed, or he ain't this, he ain't that. And it didn't help you start to have people come out, I didn't like him as a teammate. And guys you kind of thought would have had his back had spoken, kind of ill against him. And maybe there was some truth to what they felt. I'm not going to deny that. But it doesn't matter in that sometimes in life, you got to remind people, point blank period. You've been there in your career. Rob can't do this. Rob ain't that. And you got to remind people. And to me, everything you said may be true, but it's incumbent upon you. RIP to one of my mentors and a mentor to a lot of great people, Tom Brady, Michael Phelps, and all that. His name is Greg Harden. And he says, control the controllables. And that's what Russell Wilson is doing right now. I got a good position. I got a good team. I got a coach that believes in me. Let me go out here and ball and control the controllables and let the chips fall where they may. And he's been able to reinvent himself again. Still early, but I think he's doing everything he needs to do to get this team right where they want to be and hopefully contend with something. And we've seen this before, Rob. You know who it reminds me of? Kurt Warner. Balling out, toast of the town. MVP. Team for about 2-3 years, greatest show on turf, lighting it up, setting records. The Kurt Warner is the best. What an amazing story. Where's Disney when you need it? And then he started to flounder a little bit. Then they wanted to start somebody else. Then he goes to the Giants. Doesn't work out a year or so. And then they go and draft Eli Manning. And then they're like, no, we got to get Eli in here. And they kick him out. We say, he's pretty much washed. And what does he do? He goes to the Cardinals and gets them to one of the best Super Bowls we'd ever seen and almost won that one and ended up having a couple of good years there and restored his career. And that's what got him in the Hall of Fame, was putting that icing on the cake. So to me, that's what Russell Wilson's doing right now. Controlling his controllables, coming in, performing with a really good team, and now he's right back where he wants to be, an opportunity to win it all.
I don't disagree, But the Sean Payton campaign against Russell Wilson was about feelings. And that's what I'm talking.
What do you think it was?
That's what,
just like, you know what I mean?
He didn't like him. He thought he was a prima donna. I think he had an office at the facility, and all that.
He did have
that. But Brett Favre had a separate locker room when he played for the Jets,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I could give you other guys of that ilk who've had similar stuff. And I'm talking about the campaign to kind of poison the well against Russell Wilson. He went out of his way to tell people nobody takes that kind of – and you know what? If you wanted to have your own quarterback and bring him along, that's fine. But to act like last year he didn't do anything or he didn't
play well.
Remember he benched him at the end.
Yeah.
You remember
they
that?
They benched him the rest of the season,
right.
which was strange. Everything else.
They still had a chance to win games.
That was the disrespect right there.
They just didn't want him. They didn't want
him to get hurt because they knew they were getting rid of him.
Exactly.
And so they said that part right there. You might have to see me in the parking lot.
Well, but
that's the time when I need Russell Wilson to be Russell Westbrook.
But where are the people? Sean Payton, he was wrong. I mean, you can't look at Russell Wilson with the Steelers and not look at this guy and go, he has something in the tank.
He does.
He ain't I'm not saying he Hall of Fame quarterback yesterday or whatever, but you cannot sit there and look at this guy and believe he's the same guy that Sean Payton went out of his way to say he was washed and he's this and he's that and all those other things because he went to Pittsburgh and he sat behind right while he was injured or whatever. Didn't make a bellyache. Oh, I need to get back in. I need to what?
No,
he got healthy. He didn't say anything.
He's run this as well as you can right now. He is playing very well. Team's playing well. There wasn't really any issues. He seemed to have been a mentor for Justin Fields, and Justin Fields has seemed to be receptive. Obviously, he didn't want to lose the position.
And even if you're Justin Fields and you're watching him now, you can't even feel bad about yourself.
No, I think that,
right?
And he's still so young, Justin Fields, that I think you're like, whether it be here, whether it be somewhere else, he's in a good position. Meaning you've played well with Pittsburgh. You're learning and you're being tutored under a Hall of Fame quarterback. And that whether it's 2-3 years from Pittsburgh, with Pittsburgh, or if they say we got a great asset to trade in Justin Fields, I'm not really worried about Justin Fields. I think he'll be fine.
And let me give you these numbers. You ready? This is how well he's played. He's third in quarterback rating, passer rating, right? 10th in QBR, 10th in passing yards per game, and the touchdown to interception ratio 6-1. You can't play any better than that. He's in the top 10 in all of these things. And this is long in the tooth, years old.
Yeah. Only thing I'll say quickly before we break, I think Sean Payton, if you sat him down, despite everything, will say, I'm happy where I am. We almost won that game yesterday against the Chiefs.
But you didn't win.
Right, but I'm saying he would say, we're a competitive team.
And you're 5-5.
Right, we're a competitive team. I got a young quarterback I believe in. And I think he was, I'm not saying you or me.
He can make
He would say, I'm happy where I'm going.
That's fine.
That this wasn't working, he and I think sometimes
that's
best case scenario, Russell Wilson balling, teams winning. Sean Payton, who kind of put that scenario out there, would say, see, I got what I want. I got this new guy. My team's playing well.
Which is fine. But what he did to attack Russell Wilson in his career, what he did, if you ever listen to any of the veteran players in the NFL who are analysts now on television, was totally disrespectful to a guy who won a Super Bowl and went to a second one.
Especially
I don't care if you
not
don't
playing you part because I want to trade you.
You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy.
That's totally disrespectful. So Sean Payton, I hope you looked at the quarterback rating and passer ratings and stats. And if you're still on that nonsense about he's washed and he can't play and he's a bad guy or whatever that talk was. All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Has Russell Wilson's success been a demerit against Sean Payton? We'll continue this conversation next with you. It is The Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday. Rob Parker, along with Kelvin Washington.
One of them calling you right now.
That's Sean Payton.
One of your Magic Cities.
That's Sean Payton on line one.
I thought that was one of your Magic Cities right now.
My goodness gracious.
Hey, you coming in tonight?
877-99 on Fox.
Hey, Daddy.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay.
Unless you would have called Rob right now. Oh, I forgot he working. Down with the King. That is Sean King, former NFL quarterback, Fox Sports Radio analyst, Real Sean King on Twitter. What's up, Sean? Happy Friday to you, brother.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Where you at, in Vegas?
Of course, man.
Running the streets, man. We appreciate you taking some time with us here on this Friday. Rob, you want to go? You want to start?
No. Go ahead.
No. Come on.
Go ahead and ask your first question.
See, no. All right, Sean. So we've been talking about best player in the NFL, and for us, we both agree it's Lamar Jackson. We got some phone calls. Some people still saying Patrick Mahomes. Just saying that Lamar, man, he's on another level right now, and it's really been starting even last season. But if last season we thought would be his best, he's already elevated. How good has he been? How has he gotten better? How has he found holes in the game that he was been able to fill?
I mean, he does some things sometimes that you just can't coach. And, he's been blessed with that otherworldly talent. I still don't think he scratched the surface of how good he could be throwing the football if he cleaned his fundamentals up some. And that's what's scary. 2 MVPs already. I'll say this about him. Great player, phenomenal talent. They better win it this year.
Why do they better win it? Now, you know what? I hate that talk because nobody said – no. Let me say this. It's so unfair and ridiculous. Everybody tells you Dan Marino's one of the top 10 quarterbacks. He went to the Super Bowl his second year, never went back. Nobody paints – anybody like that but Lamar. Why is it? Peyton Manning didn't win his first few years either. Peyton Manning had a terrible, he won winning MVPs. He finally won. Why, if he doesn't win now, can he beat John Elway and win his last 2 years? Why does he have to win this year? I just don't buy into that. I think it's totally unfair. You mean to tell me with that last place defense, if they don't win the Super Bowl, you're blaming Lamar? Come on, Sean.
Well, don't add words. I'm not on a word count. I can put my own words together and form my own thoughts. Before I was so rudely interrupted by you.
That's what this show is. I'm rude. I'm sorry.
Hey, I was going to say he better win it this year because the pieces are in place around the league. There is no other dominant team in the AFC. The Chiefs are undefeated, but they don't look unbeatable. I know they've already beat the Ravens in the opener, but it's not one of those years where you've got this mammoth-sized obstacle to overcome. I'm talking from that standpoint.
Sean, can I give you some history in the NFL, please? How many years did Tom Brady go without winning a Super Bowl after he won one? After he won his third one, how many years did he go by? How many?
Lamar hasn't won.
No. I'm asking you. How many years went by between Super Bowls for Tom Brady? That's all I'm asking you.
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's 9 years. 9 years. So there is. You can win or not win, and you still could win. John Elway couldn't win a Super Bowl to save his life, and he won his last 2 years. All I'm saying is stop using that as like some reason to deflect or not enjoy or look at or acknowledge how well this guy's playing. All the stats. Steve DeSager had a stat. He's doing stuff that nobody's done. Nobody in the NFL.
Well, Rob, I know in your tainted, one-sided world, 2 things can't be true. Well, but I live in a world where 2 things can be true. He can be having a phenomenal season. I can be enjoying the talent. I mean, the elite, once in a decade, once in a generation talent that he is, and still feel like, damn, man, I want him to get a Super Bowl, and boy, look, this needs to be the year they get it.
All right, Sean, I want to ask.
Both of them can be true.
That's not what you said. You said he better win it this year. That's what you said.
Right. And then you cut me off before I could explain why.
Well, so we get what you're saying. He's got the circumstances fit this year to get that done. Sean King joining the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Let me throw this at you, Sean. We had a conversation about the ending of that game. You're the quarterback. You're Joe Burrow. Let's call him, Sean Burrow. You're in that position. You want to go for 2, I'm sure, but do you want somebody, maybe the coach or somebody, say maybe, maybe not, or did they make the right call considering they can't lose that game because they essentially put themselves where they can maybe only lose 1 more game the rest of this season to get into postseason?
Well, I thought 2 things were terribly done in that situation. First of all, if you're going to go for it, go for it. I don't get to trying to draw them offside. I would have kicked the extra point because Baltimore had not stopped you. Granted, you hadn't stopped them, but remember, overtime's decided by a coin flip. You could very easily have won the coin flip and gotten the ball first. And the way it was looking, whoever got it first in overtime was probably going to score a touchdown and win it. So that's the number one reason.
That's exactly what I said.
Did you see the personnel group they had on the field for the 2-point play? They were like 2 tight end set. Like, I mean, come on, man. It was bad in every way. Dumb decision by the head coach. Dumb decision by the play caller for the personnel group that was in the game as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said you can't afford. If you just go to half, you got a 50% chance of getting the ball in with the coin flip, and you're going to score. They hadn't stopped Joe Burrow all day. So, yeah, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, I don't get these coaches sometimes. I don't get it. It didn't make any sense.
I would have gone for it, just thinking their defense hadn't been able to stop them for all game. Why not go for it and then put the onus on a kicker making a kick, a bad snap? There's a lot of things that can go wrong. An interception by Lamar late, trying to make a play and trying to get downfield fast. There's a lot of stuff there. I just didn't have a problem with it. I didn't like the play call, but I didn't have a problem with them trying to win the game in that spot. Because I know that Lamar and them in that week 1, had his foot not been on the line and they tied the game in week
John
1, they were going for 2 to try to win the game.
They have a
right
history of
there.
that, though.
Yeah, I felt like this. If you don't make the 2-point conversion, the game's over. If you kick the extra point, it was only like 10 seconds left. So, I mean, it wasn't like Baltimore had a minute to go and try and get in field goal range.
It was about 30-something.
Yeah, I thought it was
38 with a couple timeouts.
With 2 timeouts. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. I thought it was less time than that. Either way, still, I'm kicking the extra point. Right?
Yeah.
We pay our defense, too, right? They get a check every week.
No, they just didn't show up yesterday. That's
I don't know where. Ray Lewis ain't running through those doors.
Hey, here's what's crazy. The Bengals played lights out the first half. They fell apart in the second half. Like, Lamar had, under 100 yards passing at the half. The Bengals were in total control of this game.
I see y'all calling for this. It is Fox Sports Radio, the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday, coming to you live from the TireRack.com studios. In an emergency, you want Rapid Radios, instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies for clear national LTE coverage and one-touch communication. Peace of mind for connecting with family in an emergency. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping. We're talking about Sean Payton, the way he did Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has responded by winning. We want to know, did he do him dirty? Did you not appreciate how he handled that? Hit us up, 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
All right, Michael in Texas. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
I really enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Kelvin, you're putting in just like a glove, brother.
My guy, hey, if it don't fit, I must have quit.
That's
Go ahead.
right.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, he disrespected, he just totally disrespected him.
Russell Wilson,
It's like he
right.
belittled him. I saw, they showed a segment where he was arguing on the sideline when he's pointing his finger at him and everything. And he did the best thing. He didn't listen. He didn't say anything back. He gave him a silent treatment. But you don't have to go that far. He's already he's already had this preconceived idea where the guy's taking up too much of my money. So I just want to push him out the door. But they showed another segment where Bo Nix came out the field and Sean was trying to challenge him about something. Bo Nix didn't back down.
He went at him. He went at him. That was about 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean didn't belittle him. So,
He didn't like him before he even got there. I mean, that's just fact.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
thank you for the call.
No doubt. Andre in Massachusetts.
What's up, Dre?
Yes.
Thanks for the call.
You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
How you doing? Thanks for taking the call. Listen, when it comes to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin and what he establishes, he says the standard is the standard. Okay, and I'm going to push you, and I'm going to see that you raise your level. But if and when you do, my arm is around you, and it's always understood this is coming from a place of love and a place of support. And we see what the results are with Russell Wilson. Sean Payton did his whole my way or the highway, old school, red in the face, screaming at you, calling you out your name, way of doing things. Is that the reason that they gave up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins?
Thank you.
Okay, because you're all up in somebody's face, rah-rah, and we see Totally different situation when Bo Nix this year, a rookie, gave it right back to him, okay, and stood him down and wasn't having that way of going about things. So in terms of Russell Wilson, he's done it the hard way, and you got to tip your hat to this guy. He had to work for the job. He had to earn the job. Mike Tomlin gave him that opportunity, gave him the benefit of the doubt, and you see the results. So Sean Payton, how you do things and, swashbuckling, you need to kind of look at yourself in the mirror and get with the modern way of coaching and always have these players back. Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you so much.
Man. Thank you, Dre.
No doubt. Randy in New Orleans, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Randy?
Uncle Rob, Calvin, what's going on?
What up, brother?
All right, now, Calvin, I was literally thinking the same thing. The Russ situation reminded me of Kurt Warner when he started to fall off with the Giants, and then he started his career back up in Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to give Rob the credit. During the summer, he said Russ should start for the Steelers. But to answer the question, it makes Sean look bad. I can speak from a fan standpoint watching Sean for 18 years down here in New Orleans. We know that Sean has a big ego and that he has to be the biggest star on the team. But my main issue is this. If he's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer that everybody says he is, why couldn't he bring this out of Russ?
Thank you. When he was there,
I mean, it's not like he had terrible numbers to me.
He didn't his numbers were you know what? His numbers were decent, but they tried to paint him like they were no good. Like that's how they painted him.
I figure if you couple that with a decent quarterback and a quarterback whisperer, right, that should turn your franchise around. I just feel like Sean didn't want to coach him from day one.
There you go, Randy. Sometimes it don't matter what it looks like.
Randy.
I just don't like you, and that was the issue.
No, that's what I
he
felt
just
like.
didn't like him. I want my own quarterback. They do this all the time.
No, but
GMs want their own coach. Coaches
I
want
get
their
that.
own quarterback.
But you don't disrespect the guy's career and muddy the water to tell people that he's no. You could just move on. You could just move on without doing all that. There's a degree of respect to a guy who won a Super Bowl and went to a second one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can make a change, okay? That's not what I'm against. It's how he handled
he's straight up to act like he couldn't play again because we're going to trade you as if he was trash. First of all, he wasn't playing trash. Secondly, he's earned better respect than that.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get one more. Yeah, Tim. Chili Tim in Atlanta.
What's up, Tim?
You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
What up, Smokey? What up?
Who's Smokey?
You Smokey.
Smoke Dog.
Oh, okay.
Remember that.
Wow.
But think about it, guys. If you think about it, the same thing that Mike Tomlin has in Pittsburgh is the same situation that Sean Payton had. A great defense, a good young receiver in Jerry Jeudy.
Yep.
It had a good defensive, great defense that was holding teams down. And Mike Tomlin has the same thing. The only difference is Mike Tomlin is a better coach. But if you ask most people, who's the better coach, Sean Payton or Mike Tomlin, a lot of them say Sean Payton. I'm like, why? Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. He's always uplifted. His players love him. They'll play for him. They'll run through walls. While a lot of guys in New Orleans hated Sean Payton.
Let me tell you this, too.
And all the other stuff.
Tim, go look at the records of Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton. They're almost identical. I'm telling you. But the view of Sean Payton is way up here, and Mike McCarthy's way down here.
And not to mention Sean
Overrated.
And they both won one Super Bowl. They both had Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But the difference is Mike McCarthy with Aaron Rodgers didn't go 7-9 3 years in a row like they did in New Orleans with Drew Brees.
No, Sean Payton is eating. He's eating off that one Super Bowl.
Yep.
He's eating off of that. Not to say he had a heck of a career. He's had a heck of a career.
See that throw?
That was money right there. And by the way, I'm still mad the Chiefs didn't go get Mike Williams, but that's a story for another day. I mean, Ron Namer, I called that out. Rob G, I called that out. All right, trending right now. Still a lot left coming up. Steve DeSayer. Hey, Steve.
Hello, gentlemen. We got breaking news that John Robinson has passed away, former USC and Rams head coach. He was 89 years old. He went 4-0 in Rose Bowls with SC, won nearly 75% of his games. He had 2 stints there, and his record was 104-35 with 4 ties. Won the national title in 78 and was Rams coach for almost a decade in Anaheim through 1991. Again, John Robinson dead at the age of 89. Major League Baseball is announcing its award finalists as we speak. Next week, the big awards get given out. For example, Monday Rookie of the Year and Tuesday Manager of the Year next week. The AL MVP finalists are from the Yankees, Aaron Judge, from the Yankees, Juan Soto, and from the Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. And
those are the 3 finalists?
That is correct. And for the 3 finalists for AL Cy Young, of course, the Tigers lefty Tarek Skubal.
That's a done deal.
From the Royals, right-hander Seth Lugo, and closer of the Guardians, Emmanuel Clase. They are continuing to announce.
They got no postseason
In the various categories.
No, postseason.
That's what I said. They got it, don't count.
In the NBA, we've got 11-0 Cleveland in action tonight. That's right. The Cavs are undefeated, and they're playing in a half an hour. In fact, a lot of games start in a half an hour. Cleveland's at Chicago. Hawks guard Trae Young is out tomorrow with Achilles tendonitis. Miami's Jimmy Butler will miss another game tomorrow with a sprained ankle. Oklahoma City's Chet Holmgren is out at least 8 to 10 weeks with a hip fracture after a fall in last night's game. In the NFL, the Rams are hosting the Dolphins 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is active despite a wrist injury. He did not practice on Friday or Saturday. Back to you.
All right, here's Steve DeSager. We're coming to you live from the TireRack.com studios. It is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, on a Magic City Monday. Appreciate you being here, rocking with us. Some more football conversation. Man, the Jets, you can say that plan has landed. I don't even know if it ever took off. That jet ain't going. It might have just been stuck on the runway. This thing is all types of bad right now. When you look at what's going on with the offense, one of the things I've mentioned when we talked about—
Is it just the offense or the defense?
No, the defense, the team as a whole. One of the things I looked
bad
at—
all the way.
It is. I don't mind. We've talked about this before. You see it in any sport, especially, like, for instance, you see it in the NBA with a LeBron-led team, right? You kind of mortgage everything. You say, we're going to do this. We're going to move coaches. We're going to go get some Rich Paul guys. We're going to do whatever we're going to do. We're going to mortgage our future with this player. That's what the Jets did with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm actually not mad at it. He's a Hall of Famer who has had an amazing career. They thought they were a guy away. So they took the risk. They took the calculator risk and said, we'll pretty much provide everything for him, and it just hasn't worked out. And now it's to the place where I'm glad that we're here so that we can move on, because after 10 weeks, the offense looks the same as it has with Zach Wilson, and they're literally 1 point more than when they had Zach Wilson. They haven't had any more yards. They have like literally eight more yards than when they had Zach Wilson. They've went out and got Devontae Adams. That's not working. They've got Green Bay receivers. That's not working. They've changed coaches. It's not working. They've changed offensive coordinators. It's not working. They have gone down the entire checklist of what you can do to make this a better situation, and it has not worked. And so at this point, they have to start thinking about the future. What are we going to do moving forward? How can we press the reset button, like when you're losing to a kid and they all of a sudden snatch the cord out or hit the reset button on a video game console? It's that time for the Jets to go ahead and hit reset at the end of this season and figure out what's going to work. Because defensively, they're not great like they had been the last few years. Offensively, they're trash, which doesn't make sense. If on paper I told you all the players they have, you would think, oh, this team putting up points.
Well, yeah,
they're
the
not.
Offensive line is bad. They can't run the football.
They just look bad as a unit.
And Aaron Rodgers is coming off of a major injury. But
that all is excuses in the NFL.
No, but those are facts though.
But
it's just like, I'm just saying, if you don't have an offensive line, I don't care who's the quarterback. You got to protect the 40-year-old quarterback. You got to be able to run the ball so that you're not
invested in this 40-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, but you got to be able to do other things so that it works. If you don't protect them like they did in the first game ever, where he was hurried 3 out of the 4 snaps and he wound up getting hurt on one of the snaps, and if you don't have those things, I never thought this would work, but I understand why they did it.
No,
This is a franchise that has won a Super Bowl in 1969.
I literally just said,
So
I get why they mortgaged, but it's time to reset.
They're not going to reset until after the season is over. They got to see if there's any kind of salvaging and seeing if this progresses, because you can still draft a quarterback, but no one on the Jets or Jet fans are looking at they've drafted Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson. They've drafted who's the other guy in Seattle? I'm just forgetting.
Geno Smith.
They've drafted like 9 quarterbacks. So you can sit here and go, well, they got to start all over again.
They do.
That. but they're not going to until after the season is over.
I literally said at the end of the season, you yank the cord out, you press reset on the game console. You start over. And organizationally, you have to figure something out. What's our ethos? What do we believe in? They broke all their standards.
You got bad ownership. So
they're going to have to figure it out.
Just like the Lions didn't win for 50 years. Bad ownership.
Yep.
Bad GMs, right? You experienced it. You watched it. Some teams, if you don't have those people in place, it doesn't matter. You still do the same thing over and over.
But that's
what
I'm literally saying. They have to find the way to resetting and completely can change the ethos. That's what the Lions did. They finally got some better ownership. They finally got some better.
After 50 years.
Right.
Okay.
And the Jets ain't did nothing since 60 whatever.
But the Jets have won a Super Bowl. The Lions
and 60 whatever.
But the Lions have never been to a Super Bowl.
Why are you telling me what they did with Joe Namath, who is literally 80-something years old?
It doesn't matter, but I'm just saying.
It does matter.
One organization has never.
It can't only matter. You can't be selective mattering.
No. Do you know that the Lions are an original franchise?
Yes, and they're the only team that won it.
Okay.
But we're talking about the Jets, who have equally done nothing. They won it with Joe Namath. If that's what you're hanging your hat on, what are we doing this about?
But if you want to count,
what are we doing sports
for? There are 3 teams that don't have a Super Bowl, and I'm just telling you, the Lions are one of them.
And who looks like they're way closer to winning one?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say.
Who looks like in the current modern day?
No. But they haven't won, and my point is.
Who looks like they're set to win one for the next 5 years, at least compete for one?
You don't get what I'm saying to you, and what I'm saying is, bad organizations, this stuff can happen for a long time.
I'm agreeing with you.
Because I saw it in Detroit. I saw them hire Matt Millen. I saw them do the same thing, draft the same wide receiver. I saw them hire dumb coaches and guys who were not good over and over and over. And I'm trying to say.
I'm confused on what you're saying because I'm agreeing. I'm saying the Lions finally got it right, and look at them finally having an ethos, a way about them, and now they're right.
What I'll never do is I'll never take away a team's. You could discount Joe Namath and them winning. That is one of the biggest Super Bowl wins by any team in any franchise because it was
beat?
The Baltimore Colts.
That's my point. It was so long ago. They're the Indianapolis Colts now. I don't want to hear about the Baltimore Colts.
But your history, what you don't know is that forced the merger between the AFL and the NFL. That's how earth-shattering it was.
I pray.
I'm just trying to tell you, don't discount it.
I hear you.
Don't discount it.
But I pray no one ever has to justify Kelvin's success by telling me something I did in 1960 whatever.
It's called context. It's called context.
No, that is called.
You cannot discount it. That's what I'm telling you.
I absolutely can.
You're like, I don't want to talk about a championship that they won.
You brought that up.
I don't want to talk about
You literally brought
up.
up.
Joe Namath is 80 years old. Joe Namath is 80 years old.
Let me know when you're done because you literally brought up Joe Namath.
Everything that's happened in the
NFL
with the Packers, none of that matters. Like in the early days of the NFL.
No, what I'm saying is we're trying to win.
Who's the trophy named after? Should we take Vince Lombardi?
We're trying to win.
Should we take his name off because he's dead?
You can keep bringing that up if you want to try to take away from the fact that Aaron Rodgers stinks. He absolutely stinks. You can bring up Joe Namath if you want. You can bring up Johnny Unitas.
That's just a crutch for you.
I'm trying to give you some
education.
I don't need that. We all know that they beat Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts.
I'm not going to let you discount a Super Bowl when your team has never won one.
I'm literally falling asleep right now.
Stick your chest out and talk about the Lions. They haven't won. Last year they choked down in the NFC Championship game. They choked it down.
Can you rewind the tape?
They choked it down.
Because I didn't bring up the Lions. He did.
Yes, you did.
You brought up the Lions.
I don't want to talk about the Super Bowl from 1969.
Mary, can you rewind the tape when he brought up the Lions? Can you bring up the tape when he told me about a 1960 whatever Super Bowl? I'm talking
it's
currently.
One of the biggest Super Bowl upsets in the history of this league.
Hey.
It is what forced the merger between the NFL and the AFL.
Let me know when you're done talking about the Civil War. Let me know when you're done talking about the Civil War. It is a part of our history.
You can beat us, Johnny come lately. What happened last week is the greatest thing.
How about
the
a little
Lions
lately?
Haven't won anything, so stop.
Why did you bring up the Lions?
Because that's what
you're
talking about.
I didn't even bring up the Lions. Rob Parker, I literally didn't bring up the Lions.
I love these guys.
I'm so confused why you brought the Lions.
Oh, the Lions.
I literally brought up
the Lions won a game yesterday where they had 5 interceptions and the other team hasn't gone in the second half. They won the Super Bowl last night.
promise you.
And I'm going to diss
It
Joe
goes
Namath. I'm going
Johnny
to diss Joe
Cochran,
Namath. No.
Johnny Cochran, and Rob Parker when it comes to defensive attorneys. Because I brought up nothing about anything. All I simply said was the Jets' whole situation has been horrific, completely horrid, and they need to reset. That's all I said.
No, you didn't.
Correct me when I'm
you
wrong.
You said Joe Namath is 80 years old.
After you brought him up, let me tell you who's not on my mind. Joe Namath. You brought up Joe Namath. They absolutely need to pull the plug, and it's okay. The Lions had to do it. You mentioned it. So many teams have had to do it. It's okay to have to reset. It's not a big deal. They'll be fine if they do that at some point and decide to move on. Speaking of moving on, we got Shekel City. We also got Monday Night Football preview as well, getting you ready. I see the Rams right now in front of my face as they get ready to take on the Dolphins. We'll do that. It's Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Joe Namath on a Magic City Monday. Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Real Sean King on Twitter. What's up, Sean? Happy Friday to you, brother.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Where you at, in Vegas?
Of course, man.
Running the streets, man. We appreciate you taking some time with us here on this Friday. Rob, you want to go? You want to start?
No. Go ahead.
No. Come on.
Go ahead and ask your first question.
See, no. All right, Sean. So we've been talking about best player in the NFL, and for us, we both agree it's Lamar Jackson. We got some phone calls. Some people still saying Patrick Mahomes. Just saying that Lamar, man, he's on another level right now, and it's really been starting even last season. But if last season we thought would be his best, he's already elevated. How good has he been? How has he gotten better? How has he found holes in the game that he was been able to fill?
I mean, he does some things sometimes that you just can't coach. And, you know, he's been blessed with that otherworldly talent. I still don't think he scratched the surface of how good he could be throwing the football if he cleaned his fundamentals up some. And that's what's scary. 2 MVPs already. I'll say this about him. Great player, phenomenal talent. They better win it this year.
Why do they better win it? Now, you know what? I hate that talk because nobody said, no. Let me say this. It's so unfair and ridiculous. Everybody tells you Dan Marino's one of the top 10 quarterbacks. He went to the Super Bowl his second year, never went back. Nobody paints anybody like that but Lamar. Why is it? Peyton Manning didn't win his first few years either. Peyton Manning had a terrible, he won winning MVPs. He finally won. Why, if he doesn't win now, can he beat John Elway and win his last 2 years? Why does he have to win this year? I just don't buy into that. I think it's totally unfair. You mean to tell me with that last place defense, if they don't win the Super Bowl, you're blaming Lamar? Come on, Sean.
Well, don't add words. I'm not on a word count. I can put my own words together and form my own thoughts. Before I was so rudely interrupted by you.
That's what this show is. I'm rude. I'm sorry.
Hey, I was going to say he better win it this year because the pieces are in place around the league. There is no other dominant team in the AFC. The Chiefs are undefeated, but they don't look unbeatable. I know they've already beat the Ravens in the opener, but it's not one of those years where you've got this mammoth-sized obstacle to overcome. I'm talking from that standpoint.
Sean, can I give you some history in the NFL, please? How many years did Tom Brady go without winning a Super Bowl after he won one? After he won his third one, how many years did he go by? How many?
Lamar hasn't won.
No. I'm asking you. How many years went by between Super Bowls for Tom Brady? That's all I'm asking you.
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's 9 years. 9 years. So there is. You can win or not win, and you still could win. John Elway couldn't win a Super Bowl to save his life, and he won his last 2 years. All I'm saying is stop using that as like some reason to deflect or not enjoy or look at or acknowledge how well this guy's playing. All the stats. Steve DeSager had a stat. He's doing stuff that nobody's done. Nobody in the NFL.
Well, Rob, I know in your tainted, one-sided world, two things can't be true. Well, but I live in a world where two things can be true. He can be having a phenomenal season. I can be enjoying the talent. I mean, the elite, once in a decade, once in a generation talent that he is, and still feel like, damn, man, I want him to get a Super Bowl, and boy, look, this needs to be the year they get it.
All right, Sean, I want to ask.
Both of them can be true.
That's not what you said. You said he better win it this year. That's what you said.
Right. And then you cut me off before I could explain why.
Well, so we get what you're saying. He's got the circumstances fit this year to get that done. Sean King joining the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Let me throw this at you, Sean. We had a conversation about the ending of that game. You're the quarterback. You're Joe Burrow. Let's call him, Sean Burrow. You're in that position. You want to go for two, I'm sure, but do you want somebody, maybe the coach or somebody, say maybe, maybe not, or did they make the right call considering they can't lose that game because they've essentially – put themselves where they can maybe only lose one more game the rest of this season to get into postseason?
Well, I thought two things were terribly done in that situation. First of all, if you're going to go for it, go for it. I don't get to trying to draw them offside. I would have kicked the extra point because Baltimore had not stopped you. Granted, you hadn't stopped them, but remember, overtime decided by a coin flip. You could very easily have won the coin flip and gotten the ball first. And the way it was looking, whoever got it first in overtime was probably going to score a touchdown and win it. So that's the number one reason.
That's exactly what I said.
Did you see the personnel group they had on the field for the two-point play? They were like two tight end set. I mean, come on, man. It was bad in every way. Dumb decision by the head coach. Dumb decision by the play caller for the personnel group that was in the game as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said you can't afford. If you just go to half, you got a 50% chance of getting the ball in with the coin flip, and you're going to score. They hadn't stopped Joe Burrow all day. So, yeah, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, I don't get these coaches sometimes. I don't get it. It didn't make any sense.
I would have gone for it, just thinking their defense hadn't been able to stop them for all game. Why not go for it and then put
Fox Sports Radio, it is the Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday, coming to you live from the TireRack.com studios. Folks, ready for a new job? Let Express Employment Professionals help. Express is hiring for jobs in a variety of industries, and job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Check out expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com. It is time now for Shekel City.
All right, on Friday, I was 2-1. My record is now 54-60-2. I'm getting closer back to 500. Yes, it's been a good little run here. Here we go, a little Shekel City tonight. I got. Let's start with the best bet. I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 2.5 at the Rams. That's going to be my best bet. Rams have won 3 in a row. Dolphins have played, well, they haven't won, but they're playing.
Tua back helped.
Yeah, big time. Everybody thought Tua didn't matter. You saw what that offense was without him. Nothing.
Ooh, what offense?
That's right. All right, also, I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings minus 2.5. They're in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. And I'm going to take the Brooklyn Nets minus 1.5 at New Orleans. They got injuries, no Zion. Zion is like off the radar, man.
It's sad.
It's unbelievable.
What could have been, when we see
you
flashes.
Remember when he was at Duke and before the sneaker blowout or whatever, it was like this dude's going to be a monster.
I remember him in high school. He has one of the greatest high school mixtapes of all time. He was hyped up since then. It's amazing how he made little boys.
He's on a tape now, but it ain't a mixtape.
Nah, he's on the tape. He is on the tape.
So here we go again. So we got the Nets minus 1.5 in New Orleans, the Kings minus 2.5 in San Antonio with Wemby. Everybody knows it's Wemby. And the Dolphins plus 2.5 taking on the Rams here in Los Angeles for Monday Night Football. And remember, Kelvin, I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet on.
So we got a game right now. Looking at it, you got Matthew Stafford on the. It looks like they're doing an interview, but you got Matthew Stafford and the Rams versus the Dolphins, who are kind of going in the opposite directions. Dolphins come into the season with a lot of excitement, a lot of hopes going on, but bam, Tua goes down with his third concussion.
Well, I didn't see that stat there. 12-2 against the Rams all time including 5 straight wins. That's crazy.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see. I'm looking at the bottom, yeah. But you got the Rams right now. They're 3-1 in their home games. They're at home in this. They've won 3 straight. They got their guys back. They're starting to look healthy, and one of those teams that we may be having a conversation in 3 weeks. Let's say they get it right, and all of a sudden, they're 7-4. You're like, oh, shoot. It's just a repeat of what they did last year when they got hot late and became a dangerous team you wouldn't want to necessarily play in the postseason and really put up a really good game against the Lions when Matthew Stafford went back to Detroit. And ended up being a really good game between Jared Goff, and the Lions and the Rams. But the Rams are heading in the right direction again. They're healthy. Matthew Stafford's playing well. Sean McVay has got this team believing that, hey, we can do this again. And obviously the Dolphins are just trying to get right. They're just trying to string some things.
Win the Super Bowl?
Well, get into the postseason. Then once you get in, you see what happens. That's their goal, is to get in. The Dolphins, they're just trying to win some games, string together some wins, string together some confidence, start to believe that they're what they're going to be from last year. Can Tyreek Hill get back on track? Can Tua start finding that rhythm even more and having those explosive, crazy games like he had the last couple of seasons? That's what the Dolphins are trying to do right now. If you're Mike McDaniel, that's your only hope, is to string together one win at a time, make the offense look good again, and then get some momentum probably towards the end of the season, hopefully going into the next season. Because that's all they can really do, sitting at 2-6. I mean, they'd have to run off a miracle run to, have a chance at the postseason right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's more about just getting things back in place. They've played well. They've had a couple games where the offense is good. They just haven't been able to close it out or win the game at the end. But I expect a good game from the Dolphins.
Who'd you pick?
And
Which
all
one
their
did you
weapons.
pick again?
I got the Dolphins plus 2.5 points. So, but I have them winning the game tonight. I do. I don't expect the Rams to win 4 in a row. They're good, but not great. And for whatever reason, the Dolphins have owned them.
I would have lost that bet.
There's certain teams like that. It doesn't even make
record
sense.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just certain teams seem to be able to beat other teams, and have some sort of hold over them. I don't know what it is, but this is one of them.
They were right there, they being the Dolphins against the Bills, who were a really good team.
That's what I'm saying. They played well.
They were right there. They covered. They were the 6-point underdog. They only lost by 3. That last second, that field goal there.
Yeah, no, they were in that game was winnable, definitely.
Yeah, so they again, if you're the Dolphins, you're just trying to get right.
And if I remember, that game was in Buffalo. Right?
Yeah. If you're the Dolphins, you're trying to get right again. So you can say, all right, this feels good. Let's even say they lose today, but it's a heartbreaker, a missed field goal. But they score points. They're getting this thing going. Tyreek Hill gets a $115 and maybe a touchdown. You can
even though he's got a wrist injury.
Yeah, it said he's
is,
active.
Right?
I thought I saw he was active.
Yeah, he is. But I'm just saying, but
that could hurt him. But let's say he plays well, and you're starting to say, man, we're getting this thing going. We're feeling good. That's all sometimes you can do. If you go back to again, if you're the Rams last season, getting things going towards the end. If you're the Lions the season before, winning all those games towards the end. If you're the Dolphins, that's my mindset. Let's string together a bunch of wins. Finish the season maybe 7-10, something like that, or maybe just go 6-2 or 3 towards the end of the season, so that we can start to feel good going into next season. Because that's basically where they're at. I mean, again, they'd have to go on a crazy run to look at the postseason, and I just don't see that actually happening.
And I saw another number: Monday Night Football, Stafford, 19 career touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Wow. That's a lot.
That sounds like he played a lot of those years with those Lions right there.
I don't know how many Monday Night Football games they were on. Not many.
No, it was very they
not
picked
many.
the season, because I went home for one, and then they'd skip 2 or 3, and then they'd pick, all right, y'all hot again. They'd be like, all right, what Calvin Johnson doing this year? What he doing? All right, cool, he'll play. Speaking of, what a game, or what a horrible game, or was it a good game? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Fox Sports Radio.